Hello.
Hello. Is this Bud?
Hi.
This is Oscar.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
got
hi, Oscar.
you got about 10 minutes or no?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I wanted to call you. I want to talk to you a little bit about your past history. You think you're ready to do that?
Yeah, I guess so.
Don't sound so excited, Bud. Anyway, of course, before TV40, of course, you were an engineer for what, TV channel 54?
Correct.
All right, so now you told me, because you and I, we've worked together now. You've let me have fun at your station for what, 25 years or so, at least. I think it was.
Yeah, we started in 1990.
Yeah, and I think it was Dollar Bill that started before me, but I think he was there, what, 2 years or something, then I got in there with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that anyway. But anyway, you were telling me some stories about TV Channel 54. And now, does this go back to, was Ron Mann part of that too, or?
I'm not sure. He wasn't there when I was there.
Oh,
He
okay.
may have been before that.
All right. But you told me some stories of some of the crazy stuff that you guys did over there. Can you want to share some of those or no?
Well, it's kind of hard to say. We did a lot of funny programs. We did some live off the street programs, and the bingo, of course, and the firing line. Them were our two biggies.
Yeah.
The other programs, we did some actual live weddings at one time.
Really?
People got married at the Occidental Hotel. We actually did a live wedding. It was Zinn's wedding. It was a huge wedding at the time. Zinn's owned a large restaurant down on Western Avenue.
Do you remember the
And I can't
year
remember the name.
or close to
Well,
it?
I can tell you offhand, it would have been over 50 years ago.
Okay. All right. So,
That's just an estimate.
yeah. Now, didn't you guys like do goofy things behind the camera and stuff when people were on the air, or kind of like we did at
Yeah,
TV40?
One of the fun things used to be when the news guys would go out there, we go out and pull their pants down. They'd be standing behind the puppet in their underwear. So, and one of the other things we did at one time was when they used to do the weather outside on the window, they reversed the camera so they would draw on the map and show the weather. I mean, and of course, using the big picture windows at the Occidental Hotel, somebody dressed up in a gorilla suit and attacked him outside. That was about it. It was just kind of fun things all the time.
Well, yeah, but we got away with that stuff too at TV40. I mean, that was the when you started TV40 all those years. How many years ago was it now that you started TV40?
Well, it was in 1990. I actually went on the air April 2nd.
Okay, and that was
No,
WM.
April 1st. I think it was April 1st or 2nd.
Oh, April Fool's Day. Perfect.
Correct.
So WMKG, and it's still
at the time it was W48K. Remember?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Then the WMKG came later because MKG is the airport designation for Muskegon, and WMKG was the original call letters from Channel 54 at the Occidental Hotel.
Oh, okay. So I don't. What call letters does it have even now, or is it even on the air anymore? I don't even know.
Well, it's on the air. It's on WMKG.
Okay.
He's running about 1,000 watts with a 10.9 dB gain antenna, but he's at 85 feet. He's looking, the new owner, which is Steve, he's looking at moving the tower to the transmitter to possibly Grand Valley's tower, which is 1,000 foot.
Oh, okay.
He's looking around for different options for different towers. He now has a brand new transmitter, which is on channel 31. It's a 1,500 watt, right? 1,500 or 3,000 watt. I'm not sure which. And he's got all the brand new feed line and everything ready to go.
Okay.
The huge spool of feed line. So, and the antenna. It's just a question of figuring out which tower he wants to go on and one thing or another.
Okay. Well, that's good. I'm glad it's not going to die, because for a while there, I thought it was just going to fade away. So.
No, he's not going to let it die. He's trying to keep it alive.
Well, that's good.
He's more or less kind of sitting back and waiting to find the proper tower. He's been looking at different towers, the old MUS towers and things like that, and downtown buildings and this type of thing. He also even considered reconstructing the tower out here on Mill Iron, going back to the 200-foot tower here.
Yeah.
So,
which you had there for quite a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem is it's not just a question of where you put the tower. You still have to get the signal to the tower.
Right.
Now, we broadcast originally to the tower on channel 67. And later on, we decided that we kept bringing up them transmitters. We decided what we do instead is we were on cable TV. So we just ran a cable TV line out to the transmitter.
Okay.
And that worked out better for us.
Okay.
We didn't have to maintain the extra transmitters and everything like that. And that worked out really well.
Now
in addition to that, we added the other 3 channels, the sub-channels as well.
Right.
So we were actually broadcasting 4 channels at once.
Okay.
And the other 3 channels were also off cable TV. They were sub-channels, but they were, one was a shopping channel, one was a movie channel, and I'm trying to remember what the third one was. I don't remember. Part of the time we ran weather on that, too.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I remember when you first came out with that stuff, we were trying to figure out what we could use it to sell, to make some money to sell.
Yeah. Well, it was, we were doing quite well financially because the 3 networks were sending us a monthly check, not a huge one, but a small check monthly to broadcast them.
Right.
And that worked out quite well.
Yeah.
In addition to that, we had our normal sponsors, one thing or another.
Right, right.
And which we were lucky that way too.
Yeah.
But as you know, we had you for a sales department and other salesmen as well.
Right.
We also carried a lot of bought-in programs or airtime. People would buy airtimes, as you also did.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we would sell blocks of airtime, and that worked out really well with all the churches and everything.
Right.
So.
Well, in the early days when we first started, when I first came there, we were doing all kinds of. I was running a lot of the paid shows that were coming on. I remember there was some kind of a rock show that I did there from some guy that came in there, and I ran the board for that. And then there was, of course, I did my LVTV for a long time too, and had a lot of fun with that. And then bingo, of course, can't forget bingo.
Yeah. Yeah, bingo and firing line were our biggies. The bingo lasted almost 20 years there.
Yeah.
Finally, it got to be too much. Every Thursday, we had to be down there for like 20 years to run the bingo. The other one, at one time, Paul Billings, which now owns a radio station in Muskegon, he did a show there for quite a while as well.
Oh, yeah, I remember that too, yeah. And then
he still, of course, he still owns a radio station. To my knowledge, he's still on the air.
Right.
Charles Rick used to buy a lot of sports programs on there.
Oh yeah, we know about Chucky. Yeah.
Yeah. He used to buy a lot of airtime as well.
Yeah, my buddy. Anyway, won't even go there. But anyway, yeah. So, but bingo was always interesting too because we had so many different people that we put on there. And I remember the one time you let me call bingo, and they called up and said, "Get that guy out of there. He's joking around too much. We don't need that crap. We just want to hear the balls get picked." So, yeah. So, yeah. It was...
Bill Gimner did that for quite a while.
Oh, yeah.
He ran the bingo.
Yeah.
Bill Stoddard. We used to have a lot of Cub Scouts who would come in there, what they called they weren't Cub Scouts. They were just before they became Cub Scouts. And I can't think of the name of them. They did a lot of, shows. They came on the show several times.
Yeah.
A lot of kids did.
Well, the Cub Scouts, Weebles, and Boy Scouts, but I don't know. Anyway, so. Yeah. And then we, there used to be times when kids would come there and we'd show them around the station. It was like, okay, that's it, pretty much, So it was small, but it worked. So.
Yeah, a lot of people wanted to see the station. When we first went on the air, they gave us less than 6 months.
Yeah.
They didn't think we'd survive because the previous stations, in fact, there were 2 in Muskegon. At one time, Channel 13 was actually out of Muskegon, the Occidental Hotel.
Right.
And and I'm trying to remember the name. He used to do a 1-minute live news program from the Occidental Hotel every day.
Okay. Before my time,
his name anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Channel 54. 13, of course, moved to Grand Rapids, which was a smart move on their part.
Right.
And the 54, which eventually moved to Allendale, too. And that was, more profitable for them as well.
Well, the one thing I got to give props for with TV 13 is they still do probably the most Muskegon news than any of the other ones, that's for sure. So,
yeah. Well, that's what we did. When we did our news program, it was 99% or 90% all Muskegon.
Right.
We rarely ever did anything out of town. We also had a very good sportsman, Don Bennett, and he did a beautiful job on the sports.
Yeah.
At one time too.
Now we had now it was Tim. Tim that did the anchor for a long time. Also, was it Sonia? Sonia, who also
Tim and Sonia both.
Yeah.
They did a beautiful job as well.
And I think Larry Taylor was part of it at one time too, wasn't he?
Yeah,
a long time ago.
Yeah. And the best part about it is all the time that we had all the news programs on, we never once got any type of discrimination suit or any type of lawsuit saying that we said the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And I owe that to Tim and Sonia both. They did a fantastic job that way. They are protecting the station all the time.
Right.
And that's really something to be proud of.
Especially for Tim to be doing the right thing. So
yeah.
He was a card. Or he is a card, I should say. He's still around.
Yeah.
So now the one thing that I remember the time when you had, I think you hired or they became part of or something, was Jay Ron and Sharon Lee, and they did the Video Country show.
Yeah, they did that for quite a while too.
Yeah.
And Sharon, of course, managed the station for a while. Then later on, my wife and I took it over after Jay Ron's death.
Right.
And we took over the station ourselves and managed it.
Yeah.
Roger Scudder, of course, ran a lot of shows for us. And Roger Scudder, which was a Fruitport media teacher at the time, he came in and he turned into an advisor for us. And he really was a real asset to the station because he showed us how to use the new computers and everything, how to do editing. And Roger spent an endless amount of time correcting our mistakes and showing us better ways to do things.
Well, if it wasn't for Roger, I would have learned half the stuff that I knew, right? Because he taught.
He was a fantastic asset to the station. He taught us so much, that we did not know, because it had been probably 30 years that I was in broadcasting, and all of a sudden I decided to do it again. Out of a clear blue.
Now, of course, I was one of the first ones there to run the board for the first AM Muskegon, which was Annette Bach and Ron Morris, they call themselves. That isn't their real names, but that's what they called themselves. And that lasted for about a year. But then, of course, the amazing Peggy White Knight took over. Well, it was actually Peggy and Paul Phillips for a little bit. But, then it was just Peggy. So
yeah, she did a beautiful job.
She did.
Right up,
I miss her too. I do miss her. She was a great lady. She was one great lady.
She was. So she did. She was a total believer in Muskegon, and she pushed really hard on the station to bring the silver sides here and to get funding for the Frohenthal Center.
Right.
And theater. And she asked me at the time, she said, "Do you care if I do that?" I says, "No. By all means, do everything you can to bring the Frohenthal Theater back to life and the Milwaukee Clipper, bring it back." And people laughed. They said, "You'll never bring that Clipper back." Well, Peggy did.
Yeah.
And so it was an amazing job that she did.
I'm hearing that it's going forward now too. Finally, so the Clipper.
She what?
I hear the Clipper's finally going forward now too. So
I'm not sure where we're at with that. Believe it or not, I haven't visited yet. I've visited a lot of the other boats downtown and that, but I've not got it on the Clipper.
Yeah.
Last time I was on the Clipper was when I fixed their camera system, which was 60 years ago.
Oh, okay. I happened to see it. I happened to see it. We were going across on that lakeshore boat that goes across to Milwaukee, and it's right across in the same area there. So I happened to see it. It doesn't look too bad. It's a little rusty, but it doesn't look bad. Look, it's a nice looking ship.
Well,
first time I saw it.
I guess they spend a lot of time maintaining it. It's mostly volunteers,
right?
In my understanding. So
Yeah, well, you know, Ron Morris is, of course, that's not his real name, but anyway, Ron's over there. I don't know if he still is, but he was over there on the LST 393. He's part of that.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's Ron Morris is part of that.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
I went all through that ship. It was quite amazing.
yeah. It is.
And then I went up to the UP and went through all the ships up there. I seen a lot of the relics from the Edmund Fitzgerald up there.
Oh yeah, yeah. At Whitefish Point. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I've been there too. It's pretty amazing.
yeah.
Yeah, Ron. You know, it seems hard to believe, but hey, Ron just turning 80. So there you go.
Oh my gosh.
I know, right?
I hate to tell you. I hate to tell you this, but I'm getting close to that myself.
Well, I know. We're all getting old.
That's another reason for getting rid of the station.
Yeah.
By the way, did you get my email on Paul's Christmas lights?
Oh yeah, I did. I passed it on to him. He said he's going to give you a call. So.
Oh, Channel 13 is featuring them, and he's got probably one of the most beautiful light displays in Muskegon I've ever seen.
Yeah, he did.
He's at Hall and Quarter Line, isn't it?
Well, no, it's on MacArthur Road, but it's like
MacArthur,
right. Yeah,
MacArthur and Quarter Line.
Yeah, Quarter Line or Sheridan. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you won't miss it.
only display I ever seen better was at the Detroit Zoo.
Oh, okay.
And that was several miles walking through that thing.
Yeah.
Freezing.
Well, you got to admit, like I say, you got to admit. I mean, not only is it like an awesome display, but I mean, Paul's 81 years old, and he does that all himself. He doesn't have any help from kids or anything.
Unreal. He did
I know.
A beautiful job. He must have worked most of the summer on that thing.
No, he does it because he has a big display out there for Halloween, and he does pretty good size display for that. And then he takes that down, and then he starts on the Christmas one. So.
Yeah, well, believe me, it's worth the trip out there to see it.
Yeah. So over on MacArthur Road,
front and backyard both. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, as far as TV40 though, I mean, I've never had, I was talking to a bunch of the guys that I work with at Sunny FM, and I had a ball there at Sunny FM, but I think it could never compare with the fun that I had at TV40. I mean, you were one of those guys that let us pretty much do what we wanted to do as long as we weren't going to lose a license. So,
Yeah, as long as they didn't put the license in jeopardy, I really didn't care.
Yeah, we had fun.
But it was supposed to be what it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be a local station,
right.
A local talent, and that's what it turned out to be.
Well, it did.
It was exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
It was, to highlight the Muskegon area and do local talent, local things, and nothing too serious.
Yeah.
I'm saying it was a very enjoyable thing. I can remember some of the firing line shows where they actually put armed guards there to protect the people on the show.
Yeah. Well, I remember we got Klaus Helfers to do the firing line. He really loved it. He loved doing that. So, I mean,
Klaus was really, really great at it too.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't heard a thing from him or how he's doing or anything.
I haven't either.
Wondered.
Yeah.
So.
But we had him. I mean, I'm trying to remember how many people. I remember that one show that I arranged that I thought would be just a great show for Fireland. I put what was it? Pam Roberts. It was a radio thing. Pam Roberts, JoJo Gerard, Mark Dixon, I think. Anyway, there was three or four radio personalities, and to talk about radio, but none of them would say anything because they figured, well, they could get fired tomorrow and have to work at one of those other stations that they're talking about. So they didn't say anything. So anyway.
Well, when we first went on the air, we went on the air at 65 feet with a 100-watt transmitter. Then we went to 85 feet with a 1,000-watt transmitter. Then we went to 199 feet with a 1,000-watt transmitter. Then we went to 199 feet with a 1,500-watt digital transmitter.
Right.
And at the time, when it was sold, we were reaching all the way to Grand Rapids.
Right.
Covering all of Whitehall, Holland, all of Grand Haven. We had basically a 30-mile range at the time.
Yeah.
So it did cover a lot of territory. So.
Well, it's nice to hear that Steve's going to get it up a little bit more and because right now Muskegon is about the only place Norton Shores is about the only place they can get it, isn't it? Right now, the way it's sitting.
Well, it's covering about a 5 mile range, maybe 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not really sure. I didn't really check on it that much.
Which is what I
I
could
know
do with
that
just an AM transmitter, but anyway.
yeah. I know he's had some technical problems one thing or another. My kids have been down there, both Canoe and Eon, helping him with his transmitters
Yeah.
one thing or another. And he does have a beautiful brand new transmitter ready to go on the air.
Well, the guy's got
And he's got a
couple of
spool
dollars.
cable.
He's got a couple of dollars, so that's a good thing.
He's got a spool of cable for a new antenna feed line.
Yeah.
Ours was 7/8. This new feed line cable, he's got about 4-inch.
Okay.
So it's a huge, monstrous spool. It was kind of funny because it was sitting outside the station. And I said, "Aren't you afraid somebody will steal that?" He said, "Nobody can move it."
Right. Yeah, I can imagine.
He said, "It's there permanently."
Yeah.
He did finally move it inside, but it was kind of comical to see such a huge spool of wire like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
But-
go ahead.
He's very interested in promoting Muskegon himself.
Right.
And I think once he gets his new transmitter online, or a new antenna and transmitter, it's going to make a huge difference.
Well, he's got a lot of property, I think, right here in Muskegon too. So he's got a lot of reason to want to promote Muskegon, I think. So.
Well, yeah, he's got quite a bit on the lake shore, the old
Right.
foundry site down there.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure just how he's involved in that one thing or another, but I do know there's some interest in it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, like I say, right now is kind of a time where I don't think anybody can pretty much promote anything because you've got, with the COVID and everything. Now, the thing about it is, the last time I ran into you was in the E&A grocery store or something, and
Yeah.
you said you weren't going to Florida this year because the COVID was so bad, but now it's worse here than it is over there. So I don't know.
Well, I'm
probably
pretty
about
much
the same.
isolated in my home.
Yeah, me too.
Pretty
Me
well
too.
staying at home.
Yeah.
Other than to get groceries, that's about it.
Yeah, I don't even do that. I just order them. I don't even leave. I don't leave anymore. I'm a chicken.
Yeah.
What can I say? When you get to a certain age and you have certain heart conditions and all that good stuff, it's like, nah, I think I'll stay home. So I won't take my chances. But I'm glad to hear that is Mickey doing good too?
Oh, yeah, beautifully.
Good.
And, of course, we've been doing a lot of remodeling on our house, one thing or another.
Okay.
We did the bedrooms, one of the bathrooms. We got another couple of rooms to do yet, one thing or another.
Well, maybe next year you can hire Paul to decorate your house with his lights.
Well, it keeping me busy working around the house.
Yeah.
I do miss the station. I really do. But it was heartbreaking to wake up in the middle of the night and be off the air.
Yeah.
Or having something go wrong. It was just heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And you were always worried about, the taxes, the payments, the electric bills and everything all the time. And, to have enough income to cover the employees' wages and one thing or another.
Right.
I think you'll recall I never ever missed a wage for anybody.
Nope.
So,
No. I mean, I think I was station. Well, you called me station manager, even though I really wasn't. But
yeah.
I was there for about a year, I think, and I never missed a wage. That's for sure, or never missed a paycheck rather.
Well, that was always a fear of mine.
Yeah.
That's always the most important thing. So.
Yeah.
But we were very lucky that way. We had, took several lightning hits through the years, but most of them didn't do a lot of damage.
Right.
One of them did take out our big transmitter at one time, but it was of course covered by insurance. So
we towards the end there, I used to do a lot of different programs and put them on, pay to put them on there, and that's how I'd make my money because I'd sell them like the car shows and all that kind of stuff. And and it was kind of like when you sold it, it was like, okay, so I can't do that anymore. Now what do I do?
Well, that was nice because he gave it a lot of good local programs.
Yeah.
Like the pumpkin run and all the parades.
It was all
if you
local.
Recall, at one time we were doing like 10, 15 parades a
year. Yeah. Yeah.
We did every parade in the area. No matter how small or big they were.
I'm actually sitting here looking at 200 of the parades that we did and that I've saved on DVD. I have no idea what to do with them, but I have a bunch of parades that I did. I mean, a lot of people did them. The other person too that I remember that did a lot of videotaping for you was Ray Williams. So when
we did a lot of news programs too.
Yep.
If you recall, towards the end we destroyed all their news footage.
Right.
So.
That was
sure that they would come back to haunt us or somebody else.
Right. And then we had Rick Carvey, which I haven't seen him for ever. He was a ball to work with.
Yeah, it's been about 5-10 years.
Yeah.
I seen him a while back at Little River.
Okay.
But that was the last I seen him. I don't know how he's doing. But he was very good on production at one time.
Oh, he was awesome. He was awesome. He had
a lot of talent.
Him and I had a great time putting together LBTV too. I mean, his sense of humor was way beyond mine. He made me laugh big time. Yeah. But
Rick was very, very good at editing and filming and things like that. He's exceptionally good at it.
And that was back in the day when it was difficult with VHS and SVHS and all that good stuff, the AB roll and all that crap. Now it's like nothing with the digital. But anyway, the other one that I remember that I haven't seen or heard about for such a long time that we always had a good time with was John Hooker. Yeah. Don't know what happened to him.
I heard he's working at some radio station, but I don't know where or what.
Really?
I don't know. But I don't know. I don't know what happened to John.
Yeah. He was from Fruitport too with Roger Scudder, wasn't he? With Roger's group at one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now Roger, of course, is still around. He's not teaching anymore.
Right.
I usually, if you get up early in the morning, you see him jogging down the road. He's lost a lot of weight.
Really?
Good the last days.
That's good.
Yeah. So
now I tried to friend Roger on Facebook, but he wouldn't respond. Poor Roger. I remember I used to ask him so many questions. It was like I can imagine he doesn't want to talk to me right now. What kind of questions he got for me now? Don't worry, Roger. I don't do it anymore. So.
He's doing a lot of photographing of wildlife and things like that right now.
All right.
See a lot of that on his Facebook.
Because he was teaching at the college there for a while. I know that, but he must have.
In Grand Valley or somewhere. It wasn't in Muskegon.
Right. So. But Roger Scudder, I mean, I owe him a lot because, I mean, if it wasn't for him, I don't think I would have learned half the stuff that I did. And,
Oh, yeah. I would have been lost without Roger. Roger's such an asset to the station.
Right.
He taught me so much more.
Yeah.
He brought us from slide projectors to computers, and that was a huge step.
I remember. Oh, that's we got to talk about that just before we leave here.
Sure.
That was the thing I remember when I first started working there, and I was running the board, and you had a humongous slide projector. I mean, this thing was huge. It had to have been weigh about 2 tons, I would think.
Oh yeah, we had that, and originally that's what stations used
for commercials.
And commercials with slides, and they used 16 millimeter film. So we had 2 16 millimeter film projectors, although we never did use them.
Right.
And at one time I put them up for sale, and they ended up at Color by Deluxe.
I tell you what, I could use some of that stuff now to transfer, because I do a lot of transferring. These 8 millimeter projectors and stuff, I go through them like because you got a bunch of films to transfer. They end up dying on you or lose the bulb, and where are you going to find the bulb? And I tell you, all this old stuff.
You recall when Muskegon Community College got away from their slide projectors and their film things, I bought all the bulbs from there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I forgot about that.
And I had huge bushel baskets full of brand new bulbs.
Yeah.
Well, the end result is I gave a lot of them away to, quite a few to Steve Darian, which was doing slides at the time.
Yeah.
And I imagine you probably got some. I don't know. A lot of them I sold on eBay, and they went for huge amounts.
Really? I got a bunch of bulbs sitting in my closet. I should put those on eBay. Anyway.
Yeah, you should put them on, because these bulbs now, what used to cost $2 and $3, are now $25 and $30 and up. They got very expensive because they're just not producing as many as they used to anymore.
Right. Now, is with the slide projector, we'd show the slides in a order, and then we'd put it, had the commercial on a cart machine, right? We'd play the cart machine, for the audio. So that was pretty primitive, but it worked, And the thing about it is all the toggle switches. I remember all those, trying to switch all the toggle switches to go from one thing to another. That was quite an experience for a guy with a handicap, I tell you.
Oh yeah. Now, if you're running slide projectors now, what you should do is put a dimmer switch on the light bulb because you don't need the full brilliance anymore.
Right, right.
and your bulbs will last 10 times as long.
Right, right.
So and that's what we had dimmer switches on them down there too.
Yeah.
So
I remember that when we first started out, though, we had some of the cameras, I guess you got from MCC or Grand Valley or something. I can't remember, but we always had trouble color balancing the whole thing. So you go to
pain,
you go to one and you'd have a kind of a bluish tint, and the other one have a reddish tint, and so Anyway, it was fun though.
The best studio cameras we ever had were the High 8 Digital.
Right.
And we bought them at, believe it or not, Circuit City at the time, and they worked out well.
Well, see, that's what I use for monitor cameras now is High 8 Digital, just because they work so well for monitor cameras. So, and you can switch them and put them right into the computer and record whatever you want. So,
someday I should give you if you have a High 8 Digital, I should give you the tape of the tower falling down.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
You would love that tape.
Yeah.
You could put that on the air when they actually dropped the 200-foot tower here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that'd be fun.
It came down with a crunch.
Oh yeah.
I don't mean maybe.
Well, you think about all the footage that you had. I mean, I've got books and books and books of DVDs with footage of different things that we did. And, it's like 25, 30 years that I worked off and on with you.
Oh,
And I don't know what to do with this stuff. I mean, just the football games. I gave the football games to the library because I didn't, what else am I supposed to do with them, So
you donated them to the schools.
No, well, I donated the Whitehall ones to the schools that I had, and I think the Montague ones too. And the rest of them, I think I just gave to the library. I think. I don't remember exactly how I did it, but I gave a lot of the stuff away, but I still got a ton of stuff.
We offered our news footage to the prosecutor's office and to the fire departments for history, and also to WZZM, but nobody wanted them. So I thought in the best interest to destroy it all.
Yeah, I remember.
So we destroyed all the news footage.
Well, I think I was helping you destroy them.
Yeah. It was. There were literally 1,000 videotapes there that were all filled.
Yeah.
So.
Well, to say, Paul and I hauled about I don't know how many. What was it?
A lot of
the 3/4 tapes out of there.
The video country, we basically threw all that away.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Because it didn't want to, run into a copyright situation, so we basically put all that in the garbage. So.
But what the crazy thing is that, like I say, today you can get it on. You go to YouTube and put in anything, and you pretty much got it there now. So. Whether it be Vivo
you get
or
everything off the web nowadays.
Yeah. You don't need any. It's like Paul gave me, he gave me all his CDs from back the RPM days and the TM days when they, used to get a weekly music CD. He gave me all those. I've got like just 2 huge crates of them, and I'm thinking, okay, I got these. Now what do I do? I have nothing to do.
Paul's not doing any more weddings or anything, is he?
No, not during the COVID time. He's, like I say, he's 81, so he's not doing nothing right now, just like me. So
Eon had all that equipment too.
Yeah.
In fact, he had over $20,000 in lighting equipment, one thing or another.
Wow.
Including towers, every type of strobe light, my God, couldn't believe all the stuff. He filled half of my garage with it.
Yeah. Well,
and most of it, he sold some and took a lot of it home because he was doing the nightclubs for a while there.
Yeah, he was pretty extravagant. Cause I remember I went over to, I don't even remember what it was called at this time. It's no longer, it's called the Spare Wheel or Spare something right now.
Rusty Spoke now.
Rusty Spoke, yeah. But it would the one before that or one before that or whatever. Anyway, he put in a system in there, and they wanted me to DJ, and it's like he had such an extravagant unit with the karaoke stuff and the video stuff and the music stuff. It's like, nah, I don't think so. This looks a little more too complicated for me. That's what
they just destroyed all that stuff.
Did they?
The whole karaoke system. The new owner just took it all apart and threw it up the attic.
Oh, jeez, that's terrible.
And the lighting and stuff. He still has a lot of that. He uses it in his garage, man cave.
Well, I remember I bought a board from him at one time. It was the classic old board, and I ended up giving it to my grandson because he was starting a band and God only knows what happened to it after that. But anyway.
Well, we still have a couple of his really good boards here, big boards.
Yeah.
And the remote radio control lighting devices are still here too.
Yeah.
The lights in the ceiling were controlled by a two-way radio or by radio.
Oh, geez.
They didn't actually have wires going to them. They had a little antenna on the back of the lights, one on this thing that sent it, signal to them.
Now
That's lights were controlled.
It sounds like you when you were young. I mean, you did Roberts Hall and did a big DJ system in there in the 70s. And you had all kinds of DJ equipment in there too. I remember what was it, some kind of a dance club or something for a while?
Oh, it's disco at the time. We were using 750 watts per channel with a center channel also.
Yeah.
And it was quite a system at the time.
At the time, yeah.
And of course, it had all the strobe lights and all the chasers and everything of that nature there.
Yeah.
I forgot there was over 1,000 light bulbs in a chaser at the time.
Oh yeah, I can just imagine what the light bill was on that thing.
Actually, it wasn't that bad because most of the lights were like 7.5 watts.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah,
but it wasn't. I can remember $1,000 electric bills, but any of them.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. But like I say, it's funny when you say 750 watts aside, and I've got my basement, I got a 2,500 watt system. But anyway, well,
that's 750 watts is really nothing.
Yeah.
But I also required every 15 minutes to take a sound level reading. Because I didn't want anybody going deaf.
Yeah. Well, I have to say, I've got 2,500 watts, but there's no way in heck I'd ever turn it up all the way in my basement.
No, you wouldn't dare.
No. So.
So,
I think Paul still got 4,000 watts at his garage or something like that. But anyway.
Yeah. But other than that, the only thing I have a turntable and records. That's about all I keep anymore.
Yeah.
And that was for when I was doing round dancing, ballroom dancing.
Oh yeah, you did that too for a long time. Are you still are you and Mickey? Well, you're not doing it now because I suppose you don't have any.
No.
But are you going to be getting back into that or?
When we were in Florida, we were dancing 2 days a week, square dancing and round dancing, and taking lessons but all that got canceled. Just everything just shut right down.
Right. Yeah.
And that's why we decided to stay in Michigan because the activities we went down there for are no longer existing.
Right. So you think
I'm just kind of hibernating.
Yeah. Is it trouble keeping the weight off now that you're hibernating? That's what.
Is it what?
Is it hard to keep the weight off now that you're hibernating and you're not doing the dancing?
That's the major problem.
Yeah.
But what I did do is I got a treadmill and a stationary bike, which is helping.
Well, there you go.
The biggest trouble I have is my food tray keeps falling off the treadmill.
Yeah.
But,
well,
the weight is definitely a problem.
Yeah. Same with me. I understand that. Believe me. Because like I say, I've got a membership to go to the gym and everything, but there's no way I'm going to a gym. No way.
Well, no, most of them are closed.
Yeah. I'll call again.
The one up there in Apple and Mill Iron is totally closed and up for sale.
Oh, really? Yeah.
That was owned by that builder, and I can't remember his name. Then after he gave that up, somebody else took it over, but that's totally closed now.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I don't know if ours is closed again or not. It was open for a while, and I went in there and to talk to them to see if it was safe, and none of them were wearing masks. And I'm thinking, I'm not going in there. No, that's okay. No. I'm good.
But I've noticed that some of the larger department stores are not enforcing the mask laws.
Yeah, I know. I don't get it, but
they enforce them when you walk in the door, but then the people immediately take them off.
Take them off. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And I not me, I'm keeping mine on all the time.
Right. Well, it's not just for your protection, it's for the others' protection also. So it's not, it's kind of like a common courtesy to do it. So,
yeah.
But I don't know if courtesy is a thing of the past, I think. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder. Anyway, sir.
I still open doors.
What's that?
So, I still open doors for women.
Yeah, do you? Yeah. Would you open a door for me too if I came?
Well, if you're wearing a skirt.
I gave my skirt up, so I don't think I'll be doing that. But anyway.
I'm sure we can find one your size.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. Just getting on me would be the problem. But anyway, it's. I just want to tell you, it's been a great. I had a great. I don't know, 30 years, I think, or 20, at least 25 years that I work with you. I enjoyed every minute of it, even the times where I was an idiot and told you to go do something with yourself and quit or whatever. I always came back. And said, "Hey, I got this we want to do." Because I mean, I don't know how many different shows I did with you, besides Video Country. Besides, after Jay passed, I took over Video Country for a while, and we took over. We did the LVTV show, and I did that with Rick Harvey and John Hooker, and we did the Elvis impersonator guy. I mean, we had so much fun. We had nothing but fun.
Oh yeah.
Grabbed a camera and did it.
Lee Goodman had a really good show on for a long time. Last I seen him, by the way, he really lost the weight.
Oh,
I don't
that's
know
good.
If he's still around or not.
That's good.
But he was looking really good. He lost a lot of weight.
Yeah. I haven't seen Lee for quite a few years.
I haven't seen him. Last time I seen him was at Walmart. I think it was. Truthfully, I didn't even recognize him. He lost so much weight.
Yeah. Did he still look like Elvis?
I don't even recall. I didn't recognize him. He lost so much weight. So.
The other one person we didn't talk about, of course, Ian Kelly, your son, was part of the station a little bit, and he's done quite well for himself. But also the guy that pretty much took over after I left, that did everything over there as far as editing and all that good stuff, was your son Chinu Kelly, who did. God, Chinu was amazing. He did everything. He really took over.
Now.
Is he?
Yeah, he's back here in Muskegon. The place that he was working for in Indiana was bought out by another company, and they downsized. Big time.
Yeah, that's the way it's been going on.
He was one of them that they downsized, and a lot of the people that they hired from the original Fox in Grand Rapids that went to Indiana, they downsized and got rid of most of them.
Right.
And Chinu just happened to fall into that category.
Now, what about?
So right now he's staying here at the with us the time being until he figures out what he wants to do. I do not think he wants to go into broadcasting anymore at all.
Really? Oh, he was so good at it. So he's not going to talk to Fox over there in Grand Rapids. They downsized there too.
Well, they downsized too. They went to what they call hubbing. So the Fox in Grand Rapids is actually controlled out of Indiana now.
Okay. All right.
Now I think they may have broke off from there, but I know for a long time they were controlled out of Indiana, and I think Wood may have been too, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's kind of the way with radio. It's kind of the same way with radio and same way with TV. As you know, radio there is no live performers anymore. I mean live disc jockeys anymore.
No, I remember in the old days. It was our job to lay slap a record on the old turntable, and that was it.
Right.
And we immediately, you put another record on almost immediately.
Right.
You had two turntables running, usually record cuts, and you went right from one turntable to the other, and back and forth.
Right.
And that's just the way it was.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, not anymore.
But them days are gone.
Yeah, days are gone. Well, I was talking to one of my radio friends, and they talked about at one time when they worked for that, the iHeartRadio. Yeah, that one. They were doing like 6 stations from, whatever location they were from. And some people were doing even more stations from the location they were from. So,
Now, you worked at WLRC for a while too, didn't you?
LCS, you mean, or LRC?
Whitehall?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I worked there for off and on, once in a while, but not very often. Quite frankly, it was too far to drive, and there wasn't enough money in it.
Yeah, well, there never was enough money for me in radio, especially in this area. But I did other things. That's why I got to DJing for clubs and weddings and all that good stuff.
Is WLRC still on the air there? AM and FM?
LRC, I'm not sure what LRC is, to be honest with you.
Right next to your house.
Oh, that's the call letters for LRC? Well, yeah, I think it's like I thought it was Yeah. Anyway, it's still on the air. It's still on the air, but I think it's like satellite delivered with the FM station. So, and I have no idea
I
what's on
wonder
the
if the
FM
AM is
anymore.
still there.
The
Well,
AM's
one
here.
time,
Well, the AM's here, but it's just a transmitter
200,
site is all it is.
250 watts, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a
Yeah.
transmitter site is all it is anymore. The building's gone.
It was kind of funny because when the train came by at 9 o'clock every night,
Yeah.
and we got a time, so, and when you hear the train whistle, it's 9 o'clock. Beep, beep.
Yeah.
It was kind
No,
of funny.
no train now.
We put
Just
that-
people walking on the bike trail now. So yeah. But yeah, when I was over there, there was Jay Ron, of course, was there at the time. Jay Ron, and that was in between Cheryl Lee anyway. So it was, but I'm trying to think. It was 1983, I think, when I was there, and anyway, yeah, the whole building is gone now. They totally tore the whole building down and just built a little transmitter, like
really?
a shed. Yeah, it's like a shed
Yeah.
now. So all that stuff
be
is gone.
darned.
I wish I could have went in there and got some of that old equipment, because that was the old turnpot boards and those turntables, man. Those things had to weigh 200 pounds apiece. Those big old turntables.
The retro cuts were doing the
Yeah,
best turntable.
they were great.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have one of those.
When we were not getting the range we wanted to on the AM, we hooked the ground rods to the railroad tracks.
Oh yeah, that's been done more than once.
Yeah, we got more range that way.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. That was one of the things when I worked at WLCS and the Eagle, is that we had that station when they called it the Bear at the time, I think it was, and they hired this engineer and paid him some ridiculous amount of money, and that's what he did too. He ended up grounding the tower to the railroad tracks. Yeah. Now the railroad tracks are no longer there. So I wonder what they said when they tore the railroad tracks out and saw that big old wire hooked up to them. But
it's kind of funny, really.
yeah.
Anyway, well, it's good to hear from you again, sir.
Yeah, same. And like I say, thanks for the 30 years or whatever that we had. It was a ball. So.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Well, thanks a lot, Oscar. You take care. How's your wife?
She's doing good. Doing real good.
Glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Okay. Take care. I'll catch you later then.
All right. Thanks.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Bye.
Thank you, Oscar.
Yep.
Bye.
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 Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Yep.